Good morning, class of 2018.
Good morning!
Today I have the privilege to talk about our experiences at DY and to offer some life advice to our class as we enter the real world. It's hard to convey just how difficult it was to complete what I believe to be the most important assignment I've ever done at DY. And I've certainly had my fair share of difficult assignments. Yet, I can't help but think about how much of a tremendous honor it is to give this speech. And I will confess that I managed to write the entire thing without even using my calculator. 5 years of high school, and here we are. We came into this school unsure of what to expect, unsure of where we would fit in, unsure of what to do with the 5 years before us. Our first year here, we transitioned from two distinct groups of Dennis and Yarmouth kids into one combined class of 8th graders that to the rest of the school seemed to only take up space in the hallway. That was the year that we realized that the kids from Dennis and the kids from Yarmouth were not so different, aside from the fact that no one from Dennis knows where anything is in Yarmouth, and no one from Yarmouth has ever been to Dennis. Following 8th grade, we entered our freshman year. At that point, we started to feel like real high school students that had to learn how to balance academics with athletics and extracurricular activities. That year, we got to take real classes, earn grades that actually counted, and gain the right to sit a few benches further back on the bleachers at football games. Then we were on to sophomore year. Not much changes sophomore year, besides the fact that when someone asks you what grade you're in, you have to remember to not say freshman anymore. Now on to junior year, which I think is fair to say is the most difficult year of high school. We were introduced to AP courses, varsity athletics, club leadership, and a whole ton of homework. For the first time in our lives, we were expected to come up with a legitimate answer to what we wanted to do with it. Whether it would be applying to college, joining the workforce, or enlisting in the military had to be put into serious consideration. That brings us to, of course, our senior year. This is the year that we started to make the real decisions regarding what we'd be doing after high school. We slowly counted down the days until we'd be sitting here in these chairs. And yet, after all our hard work, I don't think any of us is any more certain about the future than we were when we entered high school. We still don't know what to expect, where we most fit in, or what we really should be doing with our lives. And judging by the traffic and the intersection between the foreign language, art, and science wings, I'm not quite sure if we ever learned how to walk in the hallway either. In 8th grade, we only had the next 5 years to worry about. Now we have our entire lives before us. But I don't see that as a reason to be overwhelmed. Instead, realize that the future is open to you, and your life will be whatever you choose to do with it. Now I'd like to take some time to thank the people that had a strong impact on my life and on my time at DY. I'll start by thanking the DY faculty, guidance, and administration. High school would literally not be possible without them. I'd like to thank all of my teachers that I've had the pleasure of learning from, with a special thanks to Dr. S., Mr. Christensen, Mr. Rice, Ms. Ross, Mr. Thompson, and Ms. Mako, for always believing in me and simply being extraordinary people. I'd like to thank all my friends for being so supportive and inclusive over the years, and I've made far too many friendships and connections to list out right now. I'd like to thank Ms. Fornoff for guiding me through high school, for always being there when I needed advice, and for being one of the most caring people I've ever known. I'd like to thank my sister for always being there to inspire and motivate me to do my best in school and to attend a good college. I think I did okay at that.
Woo!
I'd like to thank my mother for being the strongest person I know and teaching me that if you hold on to hope, you can get through anything. And finally, I'd like to thank my father for teaching me that if you make good decisions and aspire to be a good person, that you can overcome any obstacle. And I know that if he could, he would tell me that no matter how difficult life can be, you have to keep going and keep trying to be a better person than you were the day before. Which brings me to my final point. Life is the hardest thing you will ever do. It may sometimes feel like the entire world is against you, but you can't let that stop you from living your life. Because when you think about all the things going on in the world, all the good, all the bad, and you really boil it down, all there is in life that is worth anything is people. The world simply exists for us to connect to each other. All the things in life that truly concern us, like tragedy, pain, anxiety, fear, and anger, only exist as a result of our relationships with other people. Yet without them, we'd be incapable of experiencing life's greatest treasure, genuine happiness. Now, some of you may have been listening to what I've said so far and still worry about the future lying ahead. Don't worry, you're not alone. We all get so caught up in the details that we forget about what really matters: people. Other people are what make life worth living. So if you still don't know what to do with your life, spend it trying to connect with other people and making a difference in the world for their sake. Thank you, class of 2018, and congratulations.